We helped an e-commerce brand go from 131K to 2.4 million in monthly revenue in just 90 days using two marketing channels that most e-commerce brands completely ignore. Now, while everyone's obsessed with Zuckerberg, Meta, paid ads, TikTok, all those things right now, this brand is quietly generating millions of dollars per month through email and SMS marketing. So here's exactly what happens when we took over this brand's email and SMS. So before they joined with us, they were doing 131K in total store revenue, with about 31K of that actually coming from email marketing. And they were doing nothing with SMS. And after 90 days, we were doing a total of 2.4 million in total store revenue, with 751K coming from Klaviyo email and SMS, and an additional 539K on top of that coming from their SMS software. So they are crushing it with SMS and email, generating over a 236x return on their investment with us. So you can see here, total store revenue, $2.4 million per month. Significant portion of that is coming from email marketing, and another massive chunk of that is coming from SMS marketing. You can see here, they went from 28K the first month to 140K the next month, and then the following month was 539,000. So the challenge was, this was a premium brand with very basic marketing. The brand was already doing well. They had premium products, they had great margins. The founders have done this before. They've scaled e-commerce brands. They've had great customers so far and solid market positioning. This was a brand that everything looked perfect from the outside. They looked like they were ready to scale and they're ready to really ramp up that ad spend. But there was an issue behind the scenes. Their email marketing was basically stuck in 2010. I'm going to talk through exactly what we were dealing with. So you can see here, very little campaign revenue, only 23.9% of their total revenue was actually coming from email and SMS, and there was no SMS revenue whatsoever. Total revenue at this point in September was 131K. Flows were running, but they were not optimized, and they definitely weren't premium looking. And besides the welcome flow, there wasn't much revenue coming from their abandoned checkout, their abandoned cart, their post-purchase, anything like that. It was pretty minimal. It was just their welcome flow that was completely carrying their team. And they were only doing 6 campaigns per month. But this is what made us ecstatic. It wasn't a traffic problem. It wasn't a product problem. It was purely a back-end execution problem. We knew that with the right strategy, we could turn these numbers around fast. And specifically, we could get them ready to scale their ads. They needed to be way more profitable on the back end and with retention, so that they can spend more to acquire customers and beat out their competitors. This is the thing that most people miss with email and SMS marketing. It's not only just making money with the emails, it's about making your paid ads way more profitable. Think about this. Every time they spent $50 or whatever it was actually to acquire a customer through Facebook ads, they were only getting that initial purchase and maybe breaking even. Maybe someone would come back and repeat order, but that was very, very unlikely. What could they do if each customer instead was worth, besides that initial $50 that they spend, what if that customer was actually worth $200 or $300 or $500? What if we could not only increase the lifetime value, but the average order value of every single person that comes in through ads? In that case, that's what email and SMS does, and it makes customer acquisition costs look a lot better. And that's not even lowering your CAC at all. It's exactly what this brand needed. They were ready to scale their ad spend. They had the inventory, they had the team, they had the knowledge, and they had the great products, but their customer lifetime value just wasn't high enough to actually make that ratio here work. And they're only getting 23.9% of their overall revenue coming from email and SMS. So they were absolutely leaving money on the table with every single customer that they acquired. That's really where email and SMS becomes your secret weapon, because for every dollar that you spend acquiring a customer through paid ads, we can make them significantly, worth significantly more on the back end. So here's how it breaks down: more back end revenue, means higher customer lifetime value, means more money you can spend on ads, and it allows you to beat your competitors. So our breakthrough really was, not just coming in and starting to send random emails. We really had the breakthrough when, before we sent a single email, we developed a strategy that would completely transform the revenue in just 90 days and allow them to massively scale ad spend. So this is what nobody else was talking about, and it was these steps that I'm about to share. So what we did was we first sat down with the founders, we mapped out a comprehensive strategy. They knew they were leaving money on the table, but they needed someone to completely take ownership of their email and SMS channels. They didn't really want to be involved too heavily within this. They simply wanted to focus on the ads and focus on other areas within the business. Super, super important that we took complete ownership of this channel. We made the decisions, we made the calls, and it really, really worked out well for them. So a couple things here that absolutely increased the revenue. First thing is just looking at the actual offers and creating irresistible offers that actually convert. We knew that these would be the biggest needle movers, so we create a structure where if you buy more, you end up saving more. So we had dedicated landing pages for each tier and each offer, and we want to make sure that each marketing channel was driving traffic to the same landing page. We want to make sure that paid ads and social media and emails and everything, all these marketing channels are all on the same page. So we need to have a very clear content calendar, and we need to know which offer are we promoting when, and what are the actual terms, and what do we need to do to set this up to make this as frictionless as possible. We don't want to have, typically for these, we don't want to have discount codes. We want people to, again, have as little drop off as possible and make it super easy from seeing that marketing message to making a purchase. We want to reduce friction as much as possible. Also building up hype around these offers, not just launching them, but getting people hyped up, planning that into the content calendar, super, super important so that all your marketing messages on all different platforms are aligned. You don't want to have emails talking about something that's completely different than paid ads, which is completely different than your social media content. And we're not just doing flat discounts. Way too boring here. We're looking at offers, that increase AOV. We're looking at bundles, and we're looking at basically unlocks at certain levels. So if you spend more, again, you save more. That's massively important, just given where this brand was at and what their competitors were doing and what people kind of expect. We really need to go above and beyond just a boring, X dollars off or, Y percentage off. Now, building that revenue generating email list. Now that we're driving way more traffic, we became obsessed with list growth. This brand at this point is driving significant traffic through paid ads. We need to build out a rock solid backbone that would turn these visitors into subscribers. So we implemented high converting pop-ups and site forms that match their premium brand image and gives this brand the confidence to scale their ad spend, knowing that they could capture and monetize that traffic effectively. So the brand could confidently scale their ads since they know that in this case, if we have a conversion rate of over 13%, a large chunk of those people are going to become email subscribers, and the people that are most engaged from that cold traffic are going to be retargeted by these emails. Super important here. We absolutely crushed it, I might say, with these forms. Number 3 here. We actually implemented our email and SMS revenue engine. So really the magic is with our email and SMS engine, we had to go high volume here. So we ended up rolling out daily campaigns. But the thing was, we're not just blasting the entire list every day. We built out smart segmentation that ensured that every subscriber received relevant offers without list fatigue. So as you can see here, this was simply during this 1 month period. These are all campaigns. So we are consistently engaging the list and bringing in revenue here, bringing anywhere from a couple grand all the way up to, at the top here, about 16 grand in one single email blast. SMS, super important as well. Not only to have the emails going out, but the SMS list, especially for those high value kind of VIP customers. These are the people who love the brand. They can't get enough of it. They want to be seeing you on all different channels. And this is really where it absolutely crushed it before. This was a completely new revenue stream for this brand. We use 2 different softwares for this. Won't get into the exact specifics of why we did one on, some softwares are great for some things. Other softwares for SMS are great for other things. For just one of these channels, this is kind of how the revenue actually grew month over month. So again, this honestly is kind of crazy to me that it is this powerful, but SMS, when done right, really, really is a game changer. So month 1 here, again, this is kind of wild. 28K was the first month, 140K from SMS was the second month, and 539K was month 3. So absolutely exploded their SMS revenue. Again, just really comes down to those fundamentals and building out SMS campaigns and flows very, very well. Now, speaking of those flows, automating revenue, super important to nail this. These are, emails that you want to do them right the first time because they're going to be sent out over and over and over and over and over again. And small little tiny tweaks have massive impacts, especially when you are, as this brand is, massively scaling ad spend at the same time. So automation, super important. You can see here, we build out typically 10 to 12 different flows for these different clients that hit all different stages of the customer journey. So we're going to have the welcome series, we're going to have the abandoned cart, checkout, browse, site, abandonment, all those different abandonment flows. Then we're going to have a full VIP and post-purchase customer experience after the sale. And you can see here, even our post-purchase flow, that alone was bringing in 42 grand in new monthly revenue, money that was completely left on the table beforehand. If you looked back, they were hardly doing anything with any post-purchase upsells, no cross-sells, no product reviews. They were not asking for reviews. They weren't, engaging the customer. They weren't doing anything to kind of keep the customers entertained after they make their order. None of that. And we built it all out and built everything. And you can see this is all revenue that's coming in on autopilot. So welcome flow, of course, is going to be a massive revenue driver. 340K a month was just coming from that. SMS welcome flow, another massive revenue driver they didn't have before. That's 62K per month. Post-purchase flow is 42K per month. Abandoned checkout was 35K. Browse abandonment, 23K, site abandonment, 22K, abandoned cart, 8.9. And then you got a couple other ones here that are kind of smaller flows that are just nice to have. Things like the birthday flow, the welcome flow, they're not going to be as big of revenue drivers. And they take a lot of time to kind of get up and going. But the big ones here are going to be your 4 abandonment flows, a great post-purchase sequence, and your welcome flows. These are all going to be massive revenue drivers. And if you don't have these in place, it's just revenue that is completely left on the table. Now, the biggest thing when I work with D2C brands that I tell them is that we want to give you back time in your day. That's your most valuable asset. You don't get back your time. And it's important that we work towards, trusting us in the process. And that's exactly what happened. They ended up trusting us and letting us handle everything at the start. Honestly, they really were just getting everything dialed in. They were very involved, and that gave us the knowledge so that we can, in the future, they can take their hands off and they can just trust us to take care of everything. We provided regular performance reports, but we handled all of the heavy lifting, allowing them to focus on scaling other aspects of the business since they know email and SMS is 100% taken care of. So we do everything from the initial content calendars, the strategy, the implementation, the A/B testing, the monitoring, sending out the emails, setting up the flows, optimizing them over time. We want to take as much onto our plate as possible and give them time back in their day. And the 6th, just crucial aspect was the fact that these founders did end up trusting us and just letting us do what we do best, and we let them do what they do best. They drive the traffic. We bring in the sales through these 2 channels. No micromanaging, just trust in our process and quick feedback when we needed it. It gave us great feedback loops, allowed us to move fast, test aggressively, and scale what worked. We're doing 1 email per day, of course, strategically segmented. That would be way more difficult without a level of trust and autonomy. So they were awesome. They are still to this day great to work with. Super awesome experience. And that's how you get these great results, is when you do have a great strategy in place and they just let you do your thing. So in the end, the results that we got: total revenue increased it from 131K to 2.4 million monthly. Email and SMS revenue, we're doing about 750K from Klaviyo, and another 539K from their SMS software. New revenue streams, I mean, plenty of them were unlocked, even just 42K a month from post-purchase upsells alone. Massive win alongside so many others, all within 90 days. So if you are interested in doing something similar for your brand, if you're at this level, or if you're above or below or somewhere similar, let's talk. Go to zhs-ecom.com. Go to this website here. You can apply to work with us. Hit this little button right there, get your price quote, D2C growth plan, and watch the video as well here. It kind of explains a little bit more about our process, how we work, and if we could potentially help you add at least 10 to 35% to your monthly revenue. Sometimes in these cases, it's going to be obviously a lot more, but let's talk about what you could potentially do with your brand completely free. So appreciate your time.